Good morning, guys. I don't know if you knew, but this month, May, is National Inventors Month. So I looked for a couple good read alouds that talk about actual, real inventors. Now, the one I'm going to start with, there was actually a movie made about her in 2010. I had never heard of her until I found this book. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Let's jump in. Maybe some of you have heard of her. Maybe she's new for some of you, like she was for me. But I think she's got a pretty amazing story. We're going to start with this book. Let me pull it over. Where'd it go? Okay. The Girl Who Thought in Pictures. The Story of Temple Grandin. This book was written by Julia Finley Mosca and illustrated by Daniel Riley. It is read with permission of the Innovation Press. Now, here with the end papers, we get a little bit of a clue, and maybe there's going to be something about cows in here. Let's see. This book is also told in rhyme, and I really like it. If you've ever felt different, if you've ever been low, if you don't quite fit in, there's a name you should know. Temple Grandin's that name. In her tale, you'll find glory. So get ready, get set for this cowgirl's true story. In the city of Boston, one hot summer day, a sweet baby was born. It was Temple. Hooray! Unique from the start, an unusual girl. She loved spinning in circles and watching things twirl. But some things she hated, like certain loud sounds or bright, crowded places, large cities and towns. Frilly dresses with tags made her itch, pull, and tug. Something else that she hated? A big, squeezy hug. A shy loner, this Temple, but when she got mad, when her feelings of stress and frustration got bad, quite a tantrum she'd throw. Kick, holler, bang, shriek! Yet still, by age 3, not one word did she speak. So by 3, she wasn't talking at all. Now, I want to point out something while I'm stopping here. It specifically talks about how she hated big squeezy hugs. We're going to talk about one of her inventions in a minute, because there's something ironic about that. Here we go. She'll never be normal, was what some did say. Her brain's not quite right. You must send her away. Away? Not my Temple, her mother proclaimed. We will figure this out. You all should all be ashamed. So at the time that Temple Grandin was born, I think she was born in the mid 50s. We'll see at the end. Um, if if somebody had significant brain damage, sometimes they would suggest that you send that child off to be cared for in an institution. They wouldn't live at home. And that's what they said they should do, because they said something's wrong with her brain. She has brain damage. She should be put away. But her mother said, nope. Here we go. Then, little by little, though sometimes she balked, special teachers helped Temple, and one day she talked. And that thing with her brain, it was autism, see? She was different, not less. They all finally agreed. Like most kids her age, she loved ice cream and art. But the way Temple thought, that's what set her apart. If something was mentioned For instance, a fly. In her mind, she'd see dozens of photos buzz by. When the time came for school, well, let's just say that was hard. Kids taunted and chased her all over the yard. They picked on poor Temple. How crazy it drove her. They'd tease her for saying things over and over and over and over and over. Look here, they're pointing and saying, "Look at her," and throwing things. So unkind. Until finally she snapped. Yes, she did it, lost her cool, threw a book at a kid, and was kicked out of school. No one really got Temple, but well, then again, the truth of it was Temple didn't get them. "You need time away," said her mom. "That's what's best. You'll go visit your aunt on a ranch way out west." Now, think about it. She was from a big city. Boston is a big city in Massachusetts. And if big cities upset her, maybe this was a great idea to send her out west where there was more space, out to a ranch. Let's see how it goes. And guess what? Fitting in on a farm was less stress, since pigs didn't care if her hair was a mess. Quite a sweet spot she had for the cows in their herds, such big, gentle beasts who knew nothing of words. As she watched her new friends, a thought popped in her head. These cows think like me in pictures instead. At a new school that fall, Temple found more support and a teacher who taught her, "You'll never fall short. When you find what you're good at, like science, you'll soar." And that teacher was right. He had opened a door. So she built a machine like she'd seen on some farms, an invention that hugged her with boards and not arms. It worked. She had done it from memory, it's true. And just like the cows, it made Temple calm too. So when they're giving cows inoculations, when they're doing their medical checks, they put them in something like this. And sometimes you'll see machines like this at zoos too, whenever they're doing medical checks on animals. It actually helps calm them. We look at that and think that might feel stressful, but it actually helps them feel calm rather than loosey goosey. And Temple realized that even though she didn't like big squeezy hugs, sometimes just a light bit of pressure that she could control would make her feel calmer. You see that sometimes with some people use weighted blankets, and it works kind of the same way. It's that little bit of pressure that can sometimes help some people feel calmer. And she invented this based on what she'd seen used on the ranch. "I'm special," she thought, "like a bright shooting star. My attention to details could help me go far." Through her studies, she learned there were farms not so kind. "I will help them," she said. Some solutions she'd find. So, one of the simple things she noticed was that cows, when put on a ramp, would lose their grip and they would fall. And that made them more hesitant and more likely to turn around. So, one of the very simple things, she helped develop this ramp with a different kind of tread on it so that they could go down and be comfortable and go in more easily. There are several things here that she did. And then something cool. Can you guess? Could it be? Off to college she went. A degree? She earned 3. And the ladies weren't experts on farms at the time. Do you think that stopped Temple? No way. She did fine. She stepped through that door and went forward. No tears. She took on the world, but at times she had fears because some things were scary, like people she'd meet who ignored her ideas and, well, wouldn't be sweet. But she never gave up, learned her stuff through and through, like why cattle will circle and what makes them moo. To build better farms was her goal. She would do it. Be kind to our creatures. They have feelings. She knew it. And slowly but surely, she changed many minds until farm after farm built her awesome designs. Word spread about Temple, her feats not so small. Temple Grandin, she's grand. She's the grandest of all. Now, for these things and more, she's won honors and prizes, and a movie was made. But the biggest surprise is that girl with a future that couldn't be bleaker. Yes, the once silent girl. She is now a big speaker. Today, she spreads hope with her stories and speeches. From New York to Sydney to Rome, Temple teaches. Each person is special. So unique are our minds. This world needs your ideas. It takes brains of all kinds. So here is the lesson. Feeling odd or offbeat, being different might just be what makes you so neat. Don't let doubt hold you back, not for 1 minute more. Stand tall and, like Temple, march right through that door. And here is a picture of her and a little note. It says, "Dear reader, as a child, I was glad that my mother always encouraged my ability in art. I encourage you to find something that you are good at and work on developing it. If you are interested in becoming a scientist like me, find cool new ways to look at things, such as microscopes and telescopes. Explore nature. Think up your own hands-on science experiments. Keep learning, especially from your mistakes." Temple Grandin. And there she is with her cows. So if you want to read more, you can pause on these people and see some of the other things that the author learned about Temple Grandin. And I did want to go here. Yes, she was born in 1947. So remember, I said at that point in time in the 1950s, when she was diagnosed with brain damage, which was later recognized to be autism, that's when they were trying to send her away. And this was a little girl who didn't speak until after she was 3 years old. But now she goes and gives speeches to large groups of people. She currently lives in Colorado, and she's a professor at Colorado State University. Who would have thought this was a girl that they said would never be anything? So she should go and be institutionalized. And it was really about learning a different way to communicate and to teach her because her brain works a little differently. Look at the cool stuff she invented to help out farm animals. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Here's more you can read at the end. Again, feel free to pause this and read through this and hear about some of the other details of her life. I hope you guys enjoyed our story about Temple Grandin, the girl who thought in pictures.